Hello and welcome to Yoga 413. My name is Tauni and today I have a Vinyasa flow practice for you that's going to focus on opening up the front side of the body, strengthening our back, and working our way into camel pose near the latter part of the class. So I hope you enjoy it. As always, if you love it, let me know by hitting that like button and consider sharing it with a friend. Let's go ahead and step onto our mat and get started. So let's begin our class today standing near the top of our mat, coming into our first pose of Tadasana, or mountain pose. Taking a moment here to just connect with your breath, starting to lengthen both the inhale and the exhale. On that next inhale, let's reach our arms up over our head, bringing the palms together down through the heart center. Again, inhale, just lengthening the spine, gazing upward. Exhale, back down to heart center. One more time, inhale, lengthen. Exhale, down. Reaching your arms up over the head. Let's take that right arm down and just stretch through the side body. Reaching back up and exhaling to the other side. Let's reach those arms back up, and this time just take them to your low back, the fingers down. Begin to look up, walking the eyes back onto that ceiling or the sky above you. It's for a nice, gentle back bend. Coming back to mountain pose. Let's begin by reaching our arms up and exhale, deeply bend the knees as you come into your first forward fold. Go ahead and take a moment here to just gently turn the head side to side and forward and back, releasing any tension there that you might be holding on to. And then just start to just really gently shifting your weight side to side, alternate bending those knees. Good. Let's just hold in this forward fold and cradle your elbows into the opposite palms and gently swing side to side. And coming to the center and finding stillness. Releasing those elbows, taking the hands to the shins for your first half lift. Gazing forward, coming back into forward fold. Let's step the feet back and come into our first down dog. And again, just add a little movement here, maybe alternate bending your knees, pedaling out your feet. Starting to open up all the back side of the body. And then when you're ready, find stillness in the pose. So we're going to roll our spine like a wave. We're going to lift our heels away from the mat and then just round that spine forward into plank. Bend your knees, press back, and roll back to downward facing dog. Try that again, lifting the heels, rolling the spine, bending those knees, pressing back and up. One more time. Roll that spine, bend those knees, press back and lift. Coming forward into a plank pose. Let's take the knees to the mat and lower all the way down. And we're going to come into Sphinx pose this morning or this afternoon, whenever you're practicing. Just bringing those forearms to the mat. And open up the front side. So just a nice stretch here. You can dig your elbows in and gently pull them towards the waist. Let's come out of the pose, take the hands by the chest, and give me just a baby cobra pose here. Hips are down, knees are down, elbows bent. Let's release out of the pose, tuck the toes underneath you and press back up to plank, downward facing dog. Let's look forward and step to the top of our mat, lengthening that spine. And exhale to fold. Inhale, rise up with a flat back, bringing the hands to the heart center. Let's flow through Surya Namaskar A or Sun A. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hinge forward and fold. Inhale to that flat back. Exhale to fold. Stepping back to plank pose. Shifting forward for chaturanga. Remember your knees could come down. Upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, down dog. Looking forward, stepping to the top of the mat and fold. Inhale, rise up strong. Hands to the heart. Again, one more time through, just warming the body. Exhale, fold. Lengthen the spine. And fold. Stepping back to plank pose. Shifting forward, bending the elbows. Coming into your back bend of up dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Let's sweep that right leg up behind us. And then draw that knee through the chest, stepping the foot between the hands, dropping that back knee to the mat, and rise up for your kneeling lunge. As you gently guide the hips forward and down. Nice stretch here for those hip flexors. Taking the hands down, let's straighten that forward leg coming into your half split, pulling the toes back off the mat. As you inhale, bend that knee and reach up for that kneeling lunge. As you exhale, send the hips back into your half split. Try that again at your own pace. And now hold our kneeling lunge. Let's take the hands down. Lift that back knee up off the mat. Straighten both legs coming into this version of a pyramid pose with the back heel lifted. Let's rebend that knee and step back to down dog. Let's try that on the other side, lifting the left leg up. Knee through chest, lift away from the floor, just step the foot forward. Dropping that knee, ensuring front knee over ankle, and rise up into that kneeling lunge, relaxing down. Let's bring the hands down, straighten, coming into your half split. And then inhale, come forward, reach those arms up. Exhale, hips come back into your half split. Try that at your own pace. And this time holding that lunge. Taking the hands down, let's lift that back knee up. Send the hips back as you straighten that forward leg for pyramid pose. Rebending that knee, stepping back to downward facing dog. Let's once again look forward and step or float feet to the top of the mat. and fold. Let's drop our hips, reach those arms up for chair pose. So just starting to warm those legs. Let's straighten the legs, sweep the arms behind you, adding a chest expansion, interlacing the hands. Take a moment here to gaze up, open the chest, and then fall forward into your forward fold with chest expansion. Releasing those hands, reach them up, sit the hips back, right into chair pose. Coming up to stand, sweeping those arms behind you, this time switching the grip so the opposite finger will be on top. Open up the chest and hinge forward for your fold. Dropping the hips, reaching those arms up. Reach, arrow straight arms, back strong and straight. Take a breath in here, stand it up and arch back gently. Exhale and fold. Flowing, inhale, lengthen. Exhale, step or float back to chaturanga, lowering down. Inhale to up dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. We're going to sweep that right leg up and then step that foot forward. This time we're going to come into warrior one. So the back heel will drop to the mat, rise up for Virabhadrasana 1. Trying to square your hips forward. Taking the arms behind you, adding that chest expansion, open up the chest, bow down onto the inside of that knee for humble warrior. As you inhale, rise up, reach the arms up over the head. We're going to open up into warrior 2, so adjust that back foot to open up. Now take that right palm up to the sky and reach back for reverse warrior. Coming up, circling the hands to the mat, stepping back, flowing through the half series through chaturanga, upward facing dog, down dog. Lifting that left leg up and back. Step it forward, back heel down, Virabhadrasana 1, warrior 1. Interlacing those hands behind you, opposite grip, open up the chest, bow down, humble warrior. Inhale, rise up, reach your arms up. Open to warrior 2, opening up that back foot to about 90 degrees, shoulders over hips in this pose. Left palm up, reach back, reverse your warrior. Being really mindful here that we haven't shifted our weight back as our arm reaches back. That front knee remains bent. Circle to the mat. Stepping to down dog or flowing through the half series. Looking forward, let's bring our feet to the top of the mat. Lengthen that spine and fold. Inhale, rise up, bringing the hands to the heart center. Let's balance. We're going to do dancer pose today. So we're going to start by balancing on that right foot, bending the left knee. And just like you're serving a platter, you're going to reach and grab onto the inside of the foot, lengthen, and then press the foot into the hand as you lean forward. Let's come up and switch sides. Take your time. If you need to hit the pause button and try that again, you're welcome to. If not, let's find our balance, rooted down in the left side. Serve that platter, leading palm up, grabbing the inside of the foot. Reach, and when you're ready, actively press that foot into the hand. Good. Let's come up, return to mountain pose, Tadasana. Let's flow, reaching up. Exhale, forward fold. Lengthen the spine. Planting the hands, step or float back, chaturanga. Finishing off this half series, arriving in down dog. Let's come forward onto the mat and slowly lower down. We're going to reach our arms to the sides and lift into locust pose. So lifting up, engaging the muscles in the back, opening up that chest. Careful not to hold your breath. Coming out of the pose, let's press to all fours. So coming into the tabletop position, let's flow through cow and cat a few times. So just inhale, open up the chest, lift the tailbone. Exhale, round the spine. Again, inhaling. And exhale. One more time. Inhale. And exhale. Good. So now we're going to tuck the toes and we're just going to walk back. Let's stretch into the bottoms of the feet here for just a moment. Reaching those arms up. Take us some time here. Just a quick stretch for those triceps. And then switching sides. I always like to throw in these little stretches here when we can. And come up. So you're going to arrive. We're going to start to work into camel pose. Our hips are over the knees. I always tend to start with my toes down. You do you. But we're going to start with a half camel first. So reaching the right arm up. See if you can take the left hand back to the ankle and continue to press the hips forward. Your eyes go to the ceiling. When you're ready, let's lift up and try the same thing on the other side. So left arm reaches up, right hand back to right ankle, and then maybe take that gaze to the ceiling, arching back, and come up. Let's flow through cow and cat a few times. It's a lot there for the back. So just take this time to check in. See how that went, knowing you can always repeat the half on each side rather than do the full pose, especially as you're learning. Good, so let's try that again. Coming up onto the knees. This time we're going to take our hands to the low back, fingers are down, and start to just walk the eyes back on the ceiling. Your hips are pressing forward. Finding your pose. Either choosing to stay here or taking the hands back to the ankles for camel pose. Good. Let's come up. Take a child's pose. How did you do? You can always take some time here to hit that pause button. Try again if you wish. If not, let's just take a few breaths here in child's pose. Just resting that back. And then let's go ahead and come on up. Bring those feet around and have a seat on your mat. So we're going to extend our legs out first. Take those hands right underneath shoulders. Fingers are pointing forward. When you're ready, let's press up into inclined plank. So try to really point those toes down into the mat, hips lifting. Draw those shoulder blades in. And come down. Let's bend the knees. Find those sits bones coming into boat pose, Balasana. Holding here. Now let's come forward. Cross those ankles, step or float back to plank. Holding in our plank pose and breathe here. Eyes slightly forward. You are strong. Let's just hold here in this plank. Let's move the feet together. You're going to keep that right hand down on the mat. See if you can roll to that right side, coming into side plank. Let's bring it down and try that on the other side. So just rolling to the outer edge of that left foot. Right arm comes up. Knowing if you needed support, just take that bottom knee to the mat. Let's bring it down. Couple more breaths here in plank. And then pressing those hips up and back for down dog. We're going to move into pigeon pose, a great stretch for our hips. Lift that right leg up. Knee comes into the chest, then out to that right side. And then just slowly lower down. Top of that back foot finds the mat. And from here, you can take it on down into reclining pigeon. So just a couple of reminders. If you're really struggling here and going over to one side, you can place a block underneath that hip. And if it's uncomfortable on your knee, you're welcome to just flip over and do the pose from your back, just holding on to the knee and foot. Let's walk those hands back in, stepping back to downward facing dog. So we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So lifting that left leg up and back, bend that knee, then out to the side, and slowly lower down. Again, make adjustments here you might need, and then take a few breaths in the pose, starting to just relax into those hips. Nice stretch. Good, let's walk it back. Let's do one more downward facing dog. And then gently just come forward and have that seat on your mat. We're going to extend the legs, toes up, reaching up, and hinging forward into our forward fold. Take a moment here to lengthen that spine, gaze forward, draw that chest forward, and then exhale, relax, and fold. Let's come up, and we're going to start to roll it down one vertebrae at a time, nice and slow. And just for fun, let's come into low boat. Let's see if we can hover those legs up off the floor. Chest is up, low back, down onto the mat. And hug those knees into the chest. Gently rocking side to side. So let's move into our spine twist. Keeping that right knee in, let's extend the left leg out and gently pull it down. And then drop that knee across the body for your spine twist. Turning to gaze down that right arm. come back onto our back and switch sides. Pulling that left knee in. Just a nice pull down here on that leg. Feels great for releasing that back and that hip. And then drop it across into your spine twist. Let's come back and hug the knees into the chest one more time. A few little circles here for your back. Always feels good. At least it does for me. And then let's come into reclining butterfly, taking the feet to the mat, dropping the knees open. Hands just on your midsection. All your awareness to your body and your breath. We're going to go into our final resting pose of Savasana. Arms at your sides, palms up. Legs extended, feet just relaxed and dropping away from each other. Let's take just a few moments here for complete relaxation of the body and the mind. You are welcome to hit that pause button and stay a little longer if you'd like. Or if you're with me, let's just begin to wiggle the toes, the fingers. And then when you're ready, bending the knees and just rolling to that right side into that fetal position. And just take a moment here to pause, to reflect. Great time to recognize something or someone that you're grateful for today. And then gently help yourself up to have a seat on your mat. You did amazing. I hope you feel better than when we started. Let's bring our hands to our hearts. And from my heart to yours, namaste. Have a blessed day, friends. Thanks again for joining me for class. Hope to see you again soon.